I'm back. Welcome to the show. Welcome to part 3 of our show today. Freedom Friday, definitely something that all of us are happy about at the end of the week. We're all concerned about making sure that we have a good weekend, I'm sure. We're going to be back tomorrow with our Sustainable Saturday show, of course. But I'm bringing up the important issue of the Media Verification Alliance tonight. I hope you understand that our show is not just about promoting ideas to help the country and fix the country. We're here actually to take your input and your concerns to heart and to forge a centrist political alliance that answers questions like what happened to the 9/11 attack and why didn't we discuss explosions? And so many people are asking questions why the 9/11 Commission report was just so vague about why the buildings fell, and we still haven't even apprehended anybody from that era. Those are some of the questions we talk about. We want to verify more information, so this is what the Media Verification Alliance will be all about. And that includes our Truth Tuesday and our Conspiracy Monday show. So we go back and talk about that, because a lot of people still believe that there's total collusion going on in our government with Russia, and that Mueller was bought off, and that William Barr, he was completely kind of a paid shill put in place by the deep state. William Barr goes back a long, long time with many presidents, and his influence is huge. So a guy with that much weight, making a statement that there was no obstruction or collusion, 4-page assessment of over 300 plus pages of documentation by Mueller. They say up to 700 pages. That's what some people say, but the reality is we can't possibly believe that there was no involvement. It doesn't exonerate Donald Trump at all. In fact, the mere fact that Donald Trump is now launching a legal battle to hold on to those 10 years of tax returns and not show them to anybody implies that Donald Trump is truly lying. Everything about him seems to be deceptive. Remember when he said, "Oh, I'll gladly show you 10 years of tax returns, no problem." He never did. Which is really the smoking gun here is Donald Trump won't release those 10 years of tax returns. So they can rig Mueller, and money buys a lot of people. They can rig William Barr. But William Barr has something on his record that's extremely disturbing, and that is that he sent a letter to Rod Rosenstein, 19-page letter saying don't in any way investigate obstruction. With his weight and power at the time, that's an important letter. What made him do that? Why would he try to stop an obstruction investigation way back before it even started? And why is he now the person deciding there was no obstruction? That's absurd. And what's really disturbing is Michael Flynn, who was found to have been working with Russia, was defended by William Barr. He wrote a letter. Part of that 19-page letter was to not investigate Michael Flynn. Don't look into his background. And if we hadn't done that, we would have still had a Russian agent working as our national security advisor in the White House. I'm not kidding. So William Barr was stumping for Michael Flynn to get exonerated of any wrongdoing way before we even found out he was working for Russia. So this is a seriously damning point, which I believe orders William Barr to recuse himself at the very least, just like Jeff Sessions did. Or step aside, resign for wrongdoing, or at the worst case scenario, get disbarred for prosecutorial neglect, improper conduct. I mean, all of this applies to William Barr right now. So I think the question really will come down to, will the American people and the Democrats who won the midterms because of this impeachment issue, in my opinion, it wasn't for something else. We're not looking for a Green Deal right now. We all want to keep our cars. And we like flying, many of you do. So I really believe the Democrats will either have to put up or shut up. Bill Cosby is in the news again. He's refuting defamation suit settlement not paying. Update. Okay, imprisoned after being found guilty last year of the '04 sexual assault of then Temple University employee Andrea Constead, the much accused man known as America's Dad took aim at his insurance company and the plaintiffs on Friday. Mr. Cosby did not settle any cases with anyone. He's not paying anything to anyone. He's still pursuing his counterclaims. Okay. AIG decided to settle these cases without the knowledge, permission, and consent of Mr. Cosby. He vehemently denies the allegations brought against him in these defamation suits, and he maintains his innocence. Now, more than 50 women have come forward with allegations of sexual assault against Cosby occurring over several decades. Well, this is interesting because it's very possible he's being muscled by the guys in the prison to pay them, money for commissary for everybody. I wouldn't doubt Bill Cosby's covering a lot of people's commissary bills right now, just so he has protection. I understand from one tabloid that he cries himself to sleep every night. I don't know if that's true or not. I can't verify it, but I must say I think that the crime was so severe that he probably deserves all 3 years and many more. Yeah, that's my opinion. Well, some people say Cosby was a strident alternative voice in the black community. In defense of Cosby, I would say that's true. It was Cosby who talked about the breakdown of the black family and how black men are not being promoted as fathers in their own community. It was Cosby who brought up the simple fact that, our society is driving a wedge between black women and black men. He definitely has a point, and if they're coming up with trumped up charges like he claims, there's going to have to be a lot of evidence to support his claim that he's been set up. He has about $400 million, but I don't know, after this recent battle with the prison system, I wonder what he's paying these people to survive in the prison system. Because these people are probably asking for money. Jared looked to me like he was exactly what they said he was. The guy from Subway. And if we were trying people in the court of public opinion, he does appear to be guilty. Yeah. David, who do you endorse for Prime Minister of the UK? I don't. I'm not prepared to make comments in that it would violate the Logan Act. And as you know, I'm not British. Robert Redford, outlaw Josie Wales. That's a good one. I love it. It's a video. Thank you. And we did cover the story just earlier, in case you missed part 2. We are now in part 3 because of technical errors here, but that's fine. Anthony Weiner has to register as a sex offender when he gets out. So, if you're going to be in the Long Island, New York area, you got some children, you may want to check to make sure that they're not around involved with Anthony Weiner, if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. The New Zealand mosque shooting and Hillary's pedophile island. Wow, that's going to be a new show in our evening broadcast.
This is a short video to introduce you to my post called New Zealand Mosque Shooting, Hillary's Pedophile Island. This post attempts to provide recent historic background for New Zealand in order to place the Christchurch shooting in context with the Global United Nations Agenda 2030. Of interest to many is the long list of videos that debunk and expose the contrived Tarrant mosque shooting video released on Facebook before it was banned under penalty of fine and imprisonment, probably to enhance its value as a shiny lure, distraction, or decoy.
I don't know. I mean, I think they suppressed the video because it looked so fake. I mean, there were at least 3 major fake points in the New Zealand mosque video. The most obvious was the shell casings that were disappearing as they fell out of the gun. And the other one was him blasting a shotgun into a window and nothing happened. It seemed like an air gun. And then the third one that came out recently was the clip that was on the ground. That the guy literally was going into the church for the first time, supposedly, and there was one of his clips was on the ground in front of him in the video. Why would it be there unless that was a rehearsal? So all this fakery, and the people of the red making motions with their hands, cueing the driver to go left or right, that was seen in the video too. Anyway, we had one of our shows knocked off the internet the other night. an entire broadcast because we played 7 seconds of that video. So that's how powerful that video subtraction is going on. They're trying to get that video gone. They don't want anyone to see it. They want us to believe the story, that this is a dangerous thing that led to gun control and it's real and we have to all believe that. I don't believe it. And none of us have an obligation to believe anything. I don't know why people think that you have to believe these things when you don't. You're not required to believe anything that the government shows you without verification. Ergo, the Media Verification Alliance. So we'll be working on that well into the future as we move forward. Now, I am going to be broadcasting our shows on 153news.net, but I'm probably going to start with just making videos so that we can talk about these issues and really candidly discuss them. And what I might do is make some videos later in the evening or earlier in the show when I'm not recording on YouTube that are really cutting edge, because YouTube is literally kicking people off if you talk about anything. So I'm really looking forward to taking advantage of our new site. And I'll tell you all about it when I start promoting it and building some headers for my show. So I'm going to get back into video processing just because of this new opportunity. 153news.net has provided the only competition for YouTube on the internet. Now, there are places in China you can post that are in Chinese, and there's places in Japanese you can post videos, gaming sites that you can post videos, but there are very few sites left where you can post videos like on YouTube. Believe it or not. And that's by design. They're trying to censor the world that we're living in. They're slowly trying to turn us all into whatever talking points they want us to talk about. No, I would never read something like that. I'm not into Adolf Hitler. I don't read his speeches. And I think it's ridiculous for you to even post that. Thanks. Oh, I got a picture of my previous self. There you go. Yes. Li Wang Chung. This guy supposedly lived to be 256 years old. I don't know, but there was no birth record at the time when he was born, but I assure you the possibility, just from looking at him, that he lived to be 254 years old is very, very real. But the real question is he still alive? No, seriously, we're trying to take the show seriously, Dave. I know. People were accusing me earlier of not taking it that seriously. I was looking for a little piece. I did mention this too. Out of all the 50 different shootings that have happened over the past 10 years in America, this is the only photograph of supposedly an open casket. And you can see it's clearly a wax dummy of the Charleston shooting pastor. His ear is 1 inch lower. His head is deformed. It's not even the same face. So I'm really kind of aghast at the simplicity of this fakery that's been happening. I think the most shocking thing about the false flags that have been going on is the simple fact that they're willing to do it in our face boldly, faking it every single second of the way, and making it seem so stupidly fake too, like blood packs and all kinds of ridiculous, yeah. So we'll be talking about a lot of these things. We're also discussing, of course, the dangers of the 5G network, which is kind of where I left off. I've got more things to talk about, like this terrible forest fire that happened in California, where it's the most selective forest fire in history. How does that connect to the 5G network? Well, the 5G network could veritably light the entire landscape up like a Roman candle if it was activated. The wiring that's going into the 5G network is over the top in terms of electricity. And we've all seen directed energy weapons performed by our government with military capability, but The big question is, are they using them against our own people? Are they using them against Paradise, California? And that's something that I really can't answer, because there is virtually no investigation into the arson attacks that have happened in California. Nobody's been caught. There were like 56 attacks over the past 2 years. No one's been caught. There was one guy they fingered because his house didn't burn down and everyone else around us did, and he had problems with his neighbors. But he adamantly said he didn't start the fires. So who did start the fires? And how come there's no investigation? Okay, well, these are questions that only we can ask if we have a media verification alliance and we were in power. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with whatever the media tells you, because they don't want you to know much at all. Okay, we got a mobile site to upload. The idea of uploading IGTV is a new thing. I'll talk to Sarah about this. This looks really good. Instagram is starting IGTV, which I think I should jump on right away. Yeah. Okay. We've got a statement here from another issue about the 5G network. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, I'll check into that. Thank you for the link. IGTV, Instagram. What the hell is up with SC? Bluetooth warning. Proof 5G for military surveillance. Docs on 1000 EMF. So Never Lose Truth is going to be doing a show tonight.
Ultra low frequencies, Wi-Fi, microwaves. Yeah, we are inundated with them. And I want to ask those of you in South Carolina, how are you feeling? Are you noticing that you are not feeling right these days, whether it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? I don't know what it is with South Carolina, but I'm going to show you what has been going on.
We'll be talking about that a little bit later tonight. Yeah, that's in our late show. We've got her discussing the dangers of 5G and all the different potential problems. You know that there's an Apple Bluetooth headsets that you can get. They actually send the signal through your head to the other ear in your earpiece. I'll definitely play more of this video too. Yeah, they're sending a signal through your ear to the other side. Isn't that ridiculous? You know, there's a band that goes over your head, right? And there's an old wire that used to go over your head when you sent your signal to the other ear. Why would they need to send the signal through your head? Even if it was receiving Bluetooth signals from a distance through one ear, it could easily go through that wire to the other ear. But oh no, they want that other signal to go right through your head. Kind of weird. There's no need for a shortcut. There's a thing called wire. So this shows you the mindless, inane planning that's going into these dangerous EMF emitting field energy wave forms that can alter our DNA. You know the rapid scanners you get at the airport that check to see if you're wearing anything, dangerous, like, a jock strap? Well, believe it or not, these scanners are actually causing DNA alterations in your body. Truly. I don't want to scare you, but yeah. If you tell them you don't want the scanner, you want to be frisked, they'll grab your junk. Yeah. Of course, you might like that. Well, if you're sensitive, you won't want that. Poor Kim Jong-un can't be searched when he goes to the airports. He doesn't like to be touched. And we haven't heard from Kim Jong-un lately. I hope you're doing okay, Kimmy. He's only killed 350 people, that we know of. And our president really likes him. Isn't that weird? Having a president that likes a mass murderer? I think that's really weird. What about Duterte? More Kid Boga. Well, that guy gets a lot of mileage, man. We'll play him again tonight for the heck of it. He approaches people who are scamming others and tries to scam them back with fake voices and all kinds of fun stuff. But unlike myself with political views, he's not censored on Twitch. I was IP banned on Twitch. They don't want me on Twitch. Interesting, huh? Yowza, yowza, yowza.
Hit on run.
Eat don't rock. Maybe I quit my job because of different frequency. I don't know. But when I go to the airports, I don't go on planes. I can't really take that risk. I'm quite concerned, actually. Yeah, I'm a little concerned that there's a potential for the navigation systems to be hacked on airplanes, and we know for a fact there's vulnerabilities. 16 gauge shell fires a net. Here's an interesting new development. You know how people are worried about drones looking in their windows and staring at your daughter or something in the bathroom? Who knows? There could be some guy out there like Joe Biden sitting in their car, with their drone. Well, this 12 gauge shotgun shell sends a net and will take out any drone flying above your window. Isn't that interesting? Cool innovation. Yeah. Love it. Yeah, I just think it's called Skynet. Drone defense. Look it up in case you're looking for drone defense. I don't really know if I have a drone flying around me at any given time. Of course, you wouldn't know. Drones can be this small. This is an entire high-definition video camera audio system that can fly anywhere you are and look right at you. They're silent. You can't tell if they're seeing you. If this was outside my house and was looking at me, I would not know it was there. It's truly too small to see. So they could be pretty stealth too, especially if they're doing surveillance on your bathroom window. Good to know. Okay, we got a little round robin here stuff. Here's Joe Biden with a really funny clip that happened yesterday. Trump tweeted it. Other people are tweeting it. It's just to make fun of Joe Biden and his little trip.
I shake hands, I hug people. I grab men and women by the shoulders and say, you can do this. And whether they're women, men, young, old, it's the way I've always been. It's the way I try to show I care about them and I'm listening.
Okay, Joe. Well, at least you're sniffing yourself. Apparently Joe's clone has been getting a little frisky lately. Yeah, his clone even grabs him from behind. We talked about this picture in part 1 of our show. This is pretty creepy. It came from a Carly Mellon in 2015. She posted this. It seems so innocent. But what it is really is Joe Biden holding a baby by the crotch. Isn't that weird? I mean, it's just the manner in which he's holding this child, not by the leg, but by the crotch. It's just so weird. It comes under the heading, Creepy Joe Biden never ceases to appall me. Okay. I'm done with that one too. And this new cardio care work, if you're tired, you don't want to give your friend CPR because you're just so burnt out and they're having a heart attack. Well, they can strap on the new automatic robotic CPR system. Check it out. Isn't it amazing? This device gives automated CPR. You lay the victim down, grab him, strap him in, and it does the rest. Isn't it amazing? Have no fear, this device is near. It's only 3,000 miles away and expensive as hell. I don't know. Let me give you the link. All I have is the image link. You can go from there. Maybe you might need it. Jack Osborne was the victim of a random attack while sitting at a coffee shop in LA, reporter said. Really? Okay, well, this is something we need to talk about. There he is. He was accosted. Jack Osborne talks.
Thanks, Heather. Hey, he became a household name when his family's reality show took America by storm. Jack, the son of heavy metal icon Ozzy Osbourne, is all grown up now, but he's facing a new reality after being diagnosed with MS.
Wow, and he's a victim of a random attack. I'll play that a little later Thanks for sharing. I think I'm done with the CPR dummy too. Okay, and we had this story to wrap up other stories we talked about earlier. Kathleen Biden is accusing her estranged husband, Hunter Biden, the son of Joe Biden, of reckless spending on drugs, prostitutes, and $80,000 diamond in divorce documents days before his affair with his widowed sister-in-law. Yeah, Haley was revealed. Haley Biden, apparently the late wife, the widowed wife of Beau Biden, the man who died of brain cancer, Joe's other son, who wanted Joe to run, by the way. One of Beau Biden's last wishes was for his dad, Joe, to run for president again, so he's doing it. Here is Haley on the left and Kathleen, who is suing on the right, closest to me. Now, with a beautiful wife like Kathleen and, having to see her sister-in-law cheat with her husband must be really tragic and disturbing, and you can only imagine what they're all going through. It's kind of a horrific nightmare, and it's all happening under the constant scrutiny of the press because Biden is in the news all the time. No. Video shows man allegedly stealing a chainsaw hid in his pants. Okay, this may be for the, faint of heart. Let's take a look. He's putting it in his pants right now. Okay. Here he goes. Oh, I still don't have it. Okay. Let's go back here. He's putting the chainsaw in his pants. It's up in his shirt, and he's got it around his belly. He must need a chainsaw pretty dang bad,
Hit on run.
You could hardly tell, man. Yeah, I mean, he looks like a normal guy carrying a chainsaw in his pants. Yeah, dude, it looks cash. No big deal. Sure. And the sad truth is he's probably a meth addict. He's going to take it back for a quick exchange to get some cash for his meth addiction. So Jordonk says, I hope that as I'm dying, I don't accidentally hit the do CPR button just because I'm passing out and afraid. I know. Some of you are thinking of actually walking around with a CPR pack on your chest. That's not a bad idea. If I were, in the situation Mick Jagger's in right now, getting over his heart surgery, the legendary rocker is recovering in his surgical ward from open heart surgery today, folks. Yeah. It's a pretty wild world that, he's been living, and 75 years he had heart surgery, so lucky him. Yeah, he's alive. He has the best doctors in the world, so thank goodness for that. Good job there. Good job there, Mick. You're doing great. Great job there, Mick. Really good. All right, hope you do well. The tour has been canceled, though. He's going to be recovery. I mean, my advice to you is take a baby aspirin. I think it's good for you, but I'm not a doctor. There's a new theory that it's not good for you, the baby aspirin. Yeah. I don't know. I hear good things about the baby aspirin. I'm thinking of going on the baby aspirin pretty soon. When I get to be about, in my middle ages, around 90 or so. Right now I'm still in my youth. I'm 58 going on 59. And Kimmy's a lot younger than I am. So we talked a little bit about directed energy weapons tonight. We touched on the possibility of fakery, the false flag stories. We've got a lot of things happening every night in our show, so it's not like we run out of things to talk about. And you can count on the Media Verification Alliance moving forward. We'll be discussing a lot more things as they come in, and we'll be broadcasting on YouTube as well as on 153news.net. We'll be recording videos that I'll be customly making when we get more information. I've heard Opera is a Trojan, but I've also known that it's the only browser that will play some of my websites, unfortunately. A lot of the new browsers have all these bells and whistles that prevent you from actually accessing websites. And a lot of my websites, like CoolRock, don't have HTTPS attached to them. So you can't even get that at some of the other browsers. So I'm trying to get HTTPS on all my sites, but I'm having some issues. It's kind of unusual. All right. One of the things I do every night is clean my browsers of any unnecessary things that just don't add up. And right now I've got a lot of unnecessary stuff that just doesn't make sense. So I think Joe Biden is going to be flying by the seat of his pants. He did exactly what I said he was going to do. He behaved as though he had nothing wrong, and he even met with children and forced them to sit with him. It's just very, very strange that this man is still got all these allegations pending, and we're still seeing more people, women, step up saying they felt very uncomfortable when he rubs up against them and rubs their nose and does a forehead bump, and it grabs them by the shoulder and kind of smells their hair. And I don't know if you can retract all those misdeeds. Okay, so we're going to be refresh. We're going to be up and running in just a second for our late night show. Vaughn knocked us off for some reason. Not sure why. But I think the biggest and most disturbing story of all, from my perspective tonight, was that Donald Trump is now hiring lawyers to fight anyone from getting his tax returns. When he said in the campaign that anyone could look at his 10 years of tax returns, no problem, not a problem, you can gladly see them, and we've never seen them. So I think that the smoking gun here to total collusion are these tax returns. They're so damning, they must show federal money coming from oligarchs for houses that were twice their value. And that would show money laundering by Russian oligarchs and complicity in paying him in advance of running for president, which is all the Democrats need to form impeachment charges on Donald Trump. Especially if Michael Cohen does add more fuel to the fire to essentially back up what these claims are. So Michael Cohen has discovered more information on a hard drive he didn't know existed, so now it's going to be a kind of a brand new investigation by the Democrats, so we should get to the bottom of that. In any event, we will be talking about all these different things that are happening. It's my belief that the two parties are bought off completely, and that we are suffering as a nation because we don't have a free press and we don't have an open dialogue on politics. I'm a living example of how they're keeping me out of the dialogue here in America. It's not that I don't have the caliber of character or the mind or the ability to direct new ideas and come up with great solutions. I'm a threat to the two-party system, and that's why they're censoring me in a country that claims to be free and democratic. Who are they? Well, they are the Zionists that have virtually taken over the two parties through companies and organizations like AIPAC, the American Israeli Political Affairs Committee. They're not even an official PAC. They're not even a political action committee. They're a political affairs committee. And they've wielded a huge amount of power over our country. And they're trying to rig the election through the Russian oligarchs as well. AIPAC is the West Coast version of the Zionists. The Russian oligarchs are the Eastern version. So we've got the East and the West of Zionists working to control our destiny as a nation, and we need to start stepping up, all of us do. So we're going to be doing that on a daily basis. At least we can talk about it here on the internet, and most people don't have that ability around the world. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to sign off for our live broadcast, but we'll be back tomorrow with our Sustainable Saturday. Used to be our anti-war rally. Hopefully that's still, we're keeping war back, but Sustainable Saturday starting at 5 p.m. In the meantime, I bring you my closing theme song, Mr. Right. Take care, everyone. Good night.
You're my Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. You spin my world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away. You're my Mr. Right, my Mr. Right, too good to be true. My world around, 'cause you're the peace I find. If you sweep me off my feet, my heart stops to beat, 'cause you make me melt away.
It's exhilarating to do Blind TV. We've been having an incredible time. This is in fact day 54. I thought yesterday was day 54, but we did a recount, and we determined that today is day 54 as
my Mr. Right, too good to be true.